and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
Finally!
Give it up for Mr. Direct.
Woo! Mr. Direct, are you crazy? Woo! I want you to join me.
He has his own real talk. Give it up for Mr. Direct.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? You know who it is. You know what I'm doing. It's your man, Mr. Direct. A little bit of a crazy Tuesday, a little bit of technical difficulties, changing over platforms, doing different things, trying to get it going, trying to get the users into what we're about to do. Because what we're about to do is give you guys nothing but the best hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, however long we decide to go, radio show. Why? Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to give you nothing but what? A little bit of real talk. Are you ready? Are you guys ready? There's a lot to talk about, a short amount of time. And when I tell you we got things to talk about, listen, we got some things we got to talk about. Listen, is Tiger Woods back? You tell me, is Tiger Woods back? He shot a 4 under and he didn't win the tournament, but he's back. People are saying he's swinging a lot better than he used to be. Russell Westbrook, a triple-double, averaging the first 2 months. How do you average a triple-double the first 2 months of the league? I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that. How does Jeff Fisher keep his job? 22 years, only a little bit over 500, hasn't made the playoffs, and God only knows how many years. And yet and still, he's still a coach and just got a 2-year, count them, a 2-year extension. As well, we got so much more to talk about. We got to talk about the pathetic Jets that got slaughtered last night. Like, it wasn't even a game. It wasn't anything to even consider worth watching. It was almost like, I think the Jets almost thought, like, maybe we should just go back to the locker room and try this all over again. Go back to the locker room and hope and pray. Let's hope and pray that it's going to get better. As usual, joining me on the show, you know who he is. It's my man, Akellz. What's going on, Akellz? How you doing?
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. That Jets game last night kind of just whew. I'm a Jets fan. See, you a Giants fan. You used to losing. You don't know shit about winning. I'm a Giants fan. I'm a Jets fan. Sorry, you're a Giants fan. You don't know shit about winning. I'm a Jets fan. You know, I'm used to losing, but not losing like that. So I'm trying to get into it. Because you're a Giants fan, you're just a loser all the way. So you just used to that whole entire losing scenario. Especially Eli is your quarterback. So you know the inconsistency of having Eli as your quarterback. You're like, you know what? It's just one of those things I got to put up with. I get that.
If you want to turn whatever you had to turn into stomach that, whatever happened last night with your team.
That was a pathetic show.
Since you got that off your chest.
Pathetic show.
You got that off your chest. I need to get something off my chest.
You need to get something off your chest?
I need to get something off my chest.
You've been feeling it. You've been telling me you needed to. Hold on.
I'm not going to be able to do a good show unless I get this off my chest.
Hold on. Do I need to dedicate this to Akellz and say we're going to call this the Akellz rant moment?
I think we need to. If we want to start this up, don't start nothing, won't be nothing. If you want this is what you want.
Are you sure?
Listen, it'll make me feel better. I know that.
Well, I don't give a damn about you feeling better.
Listen, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Listen,
go ahead, man. Say what you got to say.
Cowboys fans out there, you guys were 4-12 last year. Dak Prescott fell into your lap. Okay, I'll give you Ezekiel Elliott, but you have the best offensive line in the game, so you should be running the football like that. Your defense is more than suspect. These rookies are going to hit their ceiling right here, right now, this week against the Giants. And I'm going to tell you one thing right now. If you go on my Facebook, I'm a man of my word. I honor my bets. Go on my Facebook and check out my video I put up the other day. Steelers and Giants over the weekend played each other. I made a bet. I lost, so I honor it. I'm challenging any Cowboys fans that want to challenge me to a reasonable bet. I'm not going to do nothing too stupid, but I'll do something stupid and put it on my Facebook page.
Hold on. You're not going to do anything too stupid?
I mean,
what's, what's too
I'm not
stupid?
rolling around in some Speedos.
What's too stupid? Just
I'm
tell
not
me what's
rolling
too
around in
stupid.
some Speedos, but I will.
Yeah,
honor
we don't.
my-
No. Hold
That's
on. We
what
don't
I'm
want
saying.
you in no Speedos.
That's what I'm saying.
We
So
don't
I
want
won't
you in
do
no
nothing to-
Speedos.
But I'm listen. All these Cowboys fans, all of a sudden we didn't hear nothing last year. These guys are so great. When their team sucks, you don't hear nothing from them. When they're great. Oh, whoa, America's team. You should have saw the comments last year on my Facebook. I saw this ain't America's team. They shouldn't even be in America. This and that and the third. Now all of a sudden we're America's team. You guys are so suspect. You are the most suspect 11-1 team I've ever seen in my life, ever.
Listen, say it with
Challenge
your chest.
me.
Say it with your chest,
Challenge me
son.
if you want to. I got a big chest. Okay?
Say it with your chest. Tell them how you feel.
Listen.
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
Listen, I'm not mad. I'm just I don't. Is aggravated, a little bit agitated. Is mad? Is that mad?
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad.
Because last week these guys lucked up again. Redskins lucked up.
Are you sure about that?
Listen, this team is good. Their rookies are playing exceptionally well. Their offensive line is the most dominant offensive line maybe in the last 5 to 6 years. But this is a fraudulent football team. Okay?
Can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
What's their record?
I mean,
No.
11-1. Okay.
What's their record?
11-1. Okay.
Okay, what's the Giants' record?
8-4.
Okay.
Or 8
so the
and 3,
Giants,
something like that.
who did the Giants beat?
The Cowboys.
Okay, so the Giants beat the Cowboys, right?
Week 1.
But week 1, since then, who's been the better team?
The Cowboys.
Okay, I rest my case.
I'm just saying. It's not about that. Go ahead, man.
Hold on. What do you mean it's not?
It's not about that.
Isn't it
about
always
that.
about the record?
They
Isn't it always about the record?
Over the last couple of weeks, they have looked suspect than usual. More suspect than you. First of all, if your owner's name is Jerry Jones, they're suspect.
You can't even give them the props, can you?
No, I will give them their due diligence and their props, but I will also know that this team, the first time they step off,
you don't even want to give them their respect.
The first time in the playoffs,
you don't even want to give them their respect.
The first time they step on the field in the playoffs, they get knocked out. Hands down.
You didn't even. You don't even want to give them their respect. Now,
you can call it what you want.
So you're saying the first time they step on the field as a playoff team, you're saying they're going to lose.
They're done.
Okay, why do you believe that they're going to lose?
One, it's something called experience. You know, the first time you do something, it isn't always going to be great.
You don't think that these guys are playing like out of their minds?
That's the problem. They are playing out of their minds. So when they come back to their bodies and their mind realizes, wow, we're doing something extremely stressful. We can't take this anymore, which will be the playoffs. Listen, understand this. I don't even want the Giants to win the division anymore. I'm not concerned.
What you mean you don't want on? How do you go into saying
no?
How do you go into now saying you don't want them to win the division anymore?
I've been saying this for the last 3 weeks. Okay, I don't even care about the Giants winning the division anymore. The Giants get in, they got a shot. You get in the dance, you got a time. If you get into the dance, you got a chance to tango.
Do you know that just sounds like bullshit? What you just said?
No, it doesn't, because we've seen this from the Giants team previously. 6th seed, last seed, wild card team, Super Bowl. This is their MO. The Giants just had a 6-game winning streak snap. They went into their riding high. They need their backs against the wall. That's the only way this team knows how to respond.
Well, hold on. This ain't the team that won.
What?
No, it's the same team. Think about the difference of the teams now.
It's a completely different team.
Think about the different teams.
No, it's a completely different team.
Think about that.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, right?
You bringing up stats?
No, there's a couple things going into this season because we were supposed to start the show off a different way. But
well,
listen,
I'm just asking you. You bringing up stats?
Am I going about the Giants? Oh, I did a little breakdown of Sunday's game, right?
You did a breakdown of Sunday's game?
I did a little breakdown of Sunday's game.
Okay.
And I looked at what the Steelers did offensively, and I said, why can't the Giants do this? Because we have just as much talent offensively as the Steelers.
Yeah, you did lose to the Steelers, right?
Right, we lost to the Steelers.
What's the Steelers' record?
That's what I'm saying. You can't go by records because they were 6-5 at the time. Now they're 7-5. So you can't go by records.
Hold on. What's the Steelers' record?
6. They're 7-5.
7-5. Okay,
yes.
I'm just asking.
Listen, you ever heard of Any Given Sunday? Have you seen that movie with Jamie Foxx?
That's what sports is all about. Any given day.
That's what I'm saying. So listen,
any given day.
Listen,
right?
the Steelers in the first half used their offense effectively. They used every part of it. Whether it was the screen game, then they ran the ball with Le'Veon Bell, then they took their shots down the middle, down the field. Okay, they kept the Giants' defense off balance. One thing during this winning streak that the Giants defense didn't have to counter with so many offensive weapons. You know, the Bears don't have much talent offensively. The Browns don't have much talent offensively. The Ravens, we beat the Ravens, which leads that division that Pittsburgh is in, doesn't have much talent as the Steelers do offensively. The Ravens will admit that.
Okay.
And Todd Haley, the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, knows how to use them effectively. He has the best running back in the game. It is not Ezekiel
I told
Elliott.
you stop getting excited. You be popping my speakers, man. Come on, man.
I told you. Listen. Le'Veon Bell is the best running back in the game. Then it's David Johnson. Then it's Ezekiel Elliott. Understand that. And they used him to the fullest. They used him in the passing attack.
You sure about that?
Absolutely, because
Okay.
he's more dynamic and he's more dynamic and he has a weaker offensive line than what Ezekiel.
What I love about you being on this show is that you get into the dynamics of the stats. I'm just like, I've watched. I'm a sports fan too. I watch. I have my opinion and I keep it moving. I love the fact that you give details. I love the fact that you dive into it. I appreciate the fact that you really do everything.
It's a lot of hard work.
It is. And I don't disparage it. And I don't ever say that, like, it's not. What you do is great. You add that, because I just love to talk about it from the perspective of I'm just an average fan. You talk about it from an expert level of understanding the game, understanding the position. So I appreciate that. When we come back, we're going to get into a little bit of college football. You had your rant. Don't get too excited. You had your rant.
That wasn't the rant, though.
That sounded like the rant.
I was breaking down the game, man.
That sounded like the rant. Now you want more time, man. We'll be back in a moment. It's your man, Mr. Direct. Give us 5 seconds. This dude right here is killing me. And we're back. We're back just like that. You know, it's hard to guide this sometimes. Ooh, what is going on? We got to talk about this
season, my friend.
We got to talk about this.
Whether it be fantasy playoffs, whether it be college playoffs, and we were going to talk about college playoffs right now.
Right now we're going to talk about college. We got Alabama, the number 1 team that is 13-0, versus the number 4 team, Washington, which is 12-1. Then we've got Clemson, the number 2 team, led by the Heisman hopeful Deshaun Watson, versus 12-1, number 3, Ohio State. So we have the 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Can I say something?
Are they really respectively? The only team that I think is a lock is number 1, Alabama, because they've been barbarians all season long. Let's be real. They've been barbarians all season long. Who can you tell me has even stepped on the field and even been close to dealing with them? Who's been close to even being in the realm of saying, hey, they belong with us? Who could you put?
I real quick before I get into that, I want to say this. In terms of the Heisman, because you mentioned Deshaun Watson being the Heisman candidate, he's not winning it. And Deshaun Watson, to me, should be the number 1 overall pick, whether it be the 49ers or the Cleveland Browns. They should take him.
I agree with you.
Real quick, just down to me, Michigan, Jabril Peppers, and Lamar Jackson, Louisville. Those are the only 2 that has, in my eyes, that have a shot to win that Heisman Trophy.
Okay.
But in terms of who's the best out of this crop, or who's the best, period. Because Michigan, to me, because of their defense and the way they play a similar style like Alabama, even though they're not in the Final Four. And to be honest, they lost, so they couldn't get in there.
Yes.
I think, personally, they had the best shot to match up with Alabama. But in this group, because Deshaun Watson is so special, and we saw him elevate his game last year in the national championship, how can I not pick Clemson out of this group? Now, some people may say, "Wait,
let's go back up. Let's go.
Friend. You got it.
Alabama's been a has been a powerhouse all year, showing
the
absolutely.
SEC's been a powerhouse. They beat every team. That's the best conference, and they beat every team.
Can I finish what I was gonna say?
Go ahead, man.
I mean, I get you're excited, but let somebody finish a damn sentence, man.
You got it. You got it.
Damn.
You got it.
They've been a powerhouse all season, showing absolutely no signs of slowing down. Jalen Hurts, who's a true freshman. Now, this is what I think is a game changer. Jalen Hurts, a true freshman, has come to take this team underneath his watch and be a leader when most freshmen would quiver with fear in such a situation. He stepped up. Last year, he was leading his high school team to a championship. This year, he's leading the number. First of all, Alabama was the number one team coming into the season. And coming into the season, he's led them phenomenally. That's number one. All the other teams have at least one loss. Most notably, Ohio State lost to Penn State, which is presently ranked number 6. Now, I was talking to you about it before, and you kind of wanted to jump into me. And this is where you need patience, sir. Stop trying to interrupt me and have some patience, because you constantly want to get your point across. So let me get my point across, and then you could go into yours.
Okay, sir.
I don't believe that Ohio State belongs where they're at. I believe Michigan needs to be there. Now, the reason why I believe Michigan needs to be there is because if you look at, number one, the strength of schedule, Michigan's strength of schedule has been better than Ohio State's. Has been. Every team. They've beaten Penn State. Okay? The game wasn't close. They beat Penn State. It was not a close game. Ohio is beaten by Penn State. Penn State isn't even in the scene. Penn State ain't number 5. Penn State's number 6. That being the case, how can you possibly at any point think that Ohio State belongs in the top 4? I get it, but that they beat Michigan, but the game was close. How many games did Michigan lose all year? 2. So that's how they got in.
Now I'm going to say that to say this, right? Is it my turn?
Go ahead.
Your turn?
You go ahead.
My turn now?
Go ahead. You don't ever give me a turn. I got to jump it when I can. You want to dominate it. You don't know how to cut yourself off.
All right, listen, I'm asking you, if you're finishing your
I'm
point,
good.
go ahead.
I'm just saying you don't know how to cut yourself off. You just keep going. I'm like, yo, can I go now? Like, you just want to, and I get it. You happy, but you got to share the microphone.
Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm trying here. I'm growing here. But in the case of that, you have to look at it also who Michigan lost to.
Okay.
Michigan lost to Ohio State.
Okay.
Ohio State only losses to Penn State, which is currently ranked the number 6 team in the country. So they lost to a ranked team.
Okay.
Michigan didn't. They lost to an Iowa team that's not even in the conversation. Maybe they're going to get into some cheesy bowl game.
And this is what I mean by you're a better, as far as sports-wise, you understand the situation a little bit more than me, because to me, I totally let that out. I thought maybe they lost to another highly ranked team, which I'm like, as what? So now you're telling me they lost to Iowa. Well, Iowa ain't. What's Iowa? I hate that name.
Iowa. They're not.
What
even
are they
ranked.
ranked?
They're not ranked.
Even worse. Okay, so it makes sense that Michigan State's not there. That's what I like. Listen,
No.
hit me with facts and I'll back up.
No, listen, but you can look at both of these teams, Ohio State and Michigan, and make the case that they're
because they got
evenly,
2 losses.
No, but it's not. Sometimes you got to look beyond the losses. You look at these two teams, and it's so similar because they both. It starts and ends with defense for them. They have a control-based offense. The different dynamic with Ohio State is that they have a running quarterback in J.T. Barrett that can, when stuff breaks down, he can scramble out of the pocket and make something happen with his legs. Okay? So, and to be honest with you, if we look at the stats of the game, he didn't throw for a ton, but
That's a valid point.
He broke that was the difference in the game. That first down, that could have been first down, could have not been. It was because of him, because they put the ball in his hands. He ran and got the first down.
That's you make a valid point, sir.
So
I'm impressed.
I mean, but this field, I picked Clemson to win the championship, and I'm sticking with it.
Seriously, you think Clemson's going to come in and beat Alabama?
Yes, because they almost did it last year. And
when you say they almost did it, how close was the game last year?
It was a really good game. It was an all-time epic game. One of the greatest performances you'll see out of a quarterback in a championship game from Deshaun Watson.
So you think it's going to be returned to the championship game this year?
Yes, I do. I do believe so. Yes. If Clemson doesn't beat themselves, I watched Clemson very closely all year, mainly because they're on Channel 7, so it was easy access. But they beat themselves so many times with opportunities, with turnovers and things like that. I think now that and also when you're a good team, sometimes you're just muddling through the regular season. You're just waiting to get there to the dance, and they knew they were already good enough to get to the dance. So they got there. Now this is when you're going to see Clemson's best. That's why they're number 2. Why would the committee put them at number 2 when Ohio State has a better strength of schedule?
Listen.
We haven't even mentioned Washington yet, and that's number 4 seed.
Because I don't even think Washington's even going to do anything.
Because they're playing Alabama. You can chalk that up already.
Listen. That would be the upset of the year if Alabama actually
upset of the last 2-3 years.
That would be the upset of a long time if they did. I don't think they will. I'll be honest with you. I don't see them doing it.
And another question you have to ask about this Alabama team is, when is this kid Jalen Hurts going to show that he's a true freshman?
See, but that's the question. It's hard to ask that question for many reasons. One, you can't, when someone's playing out of their mind, like what we say with the Dallas Cowboys right now, they're playing out of their mind. When someone's playing out of their mind, you can't necessarily believe by any means that eventually they're going to come down. Some people play on have you ever played? See, you've never smoked marijuana.
No.
Okay.
Once.
Listen, you try to dog me about playing basketball because I'm a small dude, and I get that. My best game ever playing basketball, my boy left me a doobie like that on my, now it's been sitting for at least a good 7 hours before I got to it. I got a 2-mile ride to the I got a 2-mile ride to the YMCA. I smoked that doobie up. Now I'm relaxed. Now we know a lot of basketball is muscle memory.
Right.
Once you've done it 50 million times, if you're relaxed and don't overthink it, your body, your subconscious takes over.
Right.
Now I'm not saying an out-of-body experience. I'm saying your body literally takes over, like, it knows what to do. It knows how to react. Let me tell you something. I lit these motherfuckers up, okay? And I'm saying because think about the regular athletes when they become so comfortable in a certain position. True athletes, true stars. The thing that I love about Alabama is, when's the last time you heard about an Alabama quarterback being great? Being great. Who's the last great Alabama quarterback? I mean, since the dude, what's his name, the head coach?
Since what head coach?
Who's the head coach of Alabama?
Nick Saban.
Since Nick Saban came back, who's
none?
Tell me,
Greg McElroy might be the best quarterback, and he's not even in the NFL right now.
Okay, that's my point. Tell me who's the greatest player since Saban has been back at Alabama that is making an impact in, and I'm going to get to my point when you answer this. Since they have been in the NFL coming out.
What the players? It's so many
players. But tell me right now, who would you say is an impact player, meaning like they're a superstar? Superstar, not they're a good player.
Julio Jones.
Okay, Julio Jones. What position does he play?
Wide receiver.
For who?
Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. How good is Atlanta Falcons without him?
Not very good.
Okay. One out of how many that have come out of Alabama? How many championships has Saban won since he's been back?
I would say 3. That's a guess though. That's a guesstimation. But
3
I
or
would say
4,
3.
right?
3 or 4. Definitely no more than 4.
And you can only name one. Go back to when Miami was winning championships.
Oh yeah, they were loaded.
How many players can come off that
squad? They were loaded. Yeah.
My point is the game has changed. Nick Saban has taken this game to another level of, I want you to buy into the team. I want you to buy in that you're an offensive lineman. Your job is to protect the quarterback. He's our quarterback. Your job is to protect the quarterback. The reason why I'm saying that is, and we discussed it on the show before, when you have a coach that used to coach in the league and he comes down, he stops coaching superstars. He starts coaching team. Because in the NFL, you coach superstars.
Yeah, to a degree.
Right?
But you preach team though in the NFL.
You coach superstars.
You coach high paid athletes. That don't mean they're superstars.
But you're trying to coach a superstars.
No, I get your point.
You're my superstar linebacker.
Right.
Rest of these dudes, they might be B levels that are trying to be an A level, but you're my extra A level. So I'm expecting extra out of you.
Right.
I'm expecting you to beast every week.
But let me say something to you, right? Because you look at the Bill Belichick effect with the New England Patriots. Although Tom Brady is their superstar, you can say that, or Rob Gronkowski. You can make any case for any of the two.
100%.
But Tom Brady's always there. Gronkowski's had a little injury problem. That's team first, that team. They do whatever is necessary for the team.
And no, I get what you're saying.
Right.
I'm saying when you come down
to
the NCAA, you coach more because these guys are not really superstars. They're still students and they're kids.
But Nick Saban, what makes Nick Saban great in the college rankings is he's able to discipline at the college rankings. In the NFL,
you can't argue that.
In the NFL, right? Because only reason why Bill Belichick gets away with what he gets away with, because one, he wins. Two, he has most of the power. It's Robert Kraft and it's Bill Belichick. Nick Saban wasn't given that with Miami. So when he talks discipline, players are like, oh, okay. Another guy, what was that great linebacker from the Bears? Oh, I had him. And with the 49ers, he was a 49ers coach. He's a great linebacker from the Bears.
Oh,
I lost his name.
You talking about Singletary?
Mike Singletary. There you go.
Yo,
right.
Singletary was a beast.
When you're that type of coach, you need to be given more power than a coach. Only coach that I know, to my knowledge, that was able to preach discipline and team and be successful with it, but he had to tinker with a couple things, was Tom Coughlin, because he was. If you're on time, you're late. What? If you're on time, you're late. Does that make sense?
But that's in entertainment as well. That's what we do in entertainment.
Right.
If I tell you that I expect you to be here at 10 o'clock and you show up at 10 o'clock, now it's different when you're doing post-production and stuff like that, like office work.
Right.
But when we're doing a show and we say I expect you here at 10 o'clock and you show up at 10 o'clock, you're late. You're early when you show up at 9 o'clock. It's crazy, right?
You couldn't give me 8:50.
No, you early. You on time when you show up at 9 o'clock.
Give me 9:50.
Nah, you on time when you hit that 9 o'clock. You on time. We're gonna be coming back up. We got to talk about the NFL. You're gonna do your rant. You're gonna do your rant.
I'm gonna continue to rant.
You're gonna continue to rant because you went off base and everything. But we're gonna be back in a moment. Don't go anywhere. You know what we do, giving you nothing but that real talk. Oh, and we're back. And you know we got to talk about the NFL. You know we have to talk about the NFL.
It's just about playoff time in the NFL.
It's getting there.
It's shaping up, man.
It's getting there.
Things are getting a little bit more clear. The fog is becoming light.
It's getting there. And listen, when we talk about the NFL, there's so much to talk about. What I specifically wanted to talk about, because this is the time of year when we really start talking about coaches that are on the fire. Their feet are being held to the freaking fire like a witch has been caught in old school Salem, Massachusetts, and they are about to burn them at the stake. And one coach, by the way, the guest calling line, if you guys don't know, is 347-205-9571. That's 347-205-9571. If you guys want to call in, if you have a comment, you want to talk about it, hey, call us in. We love it. We love having people call in. We love people being part of the whole Real Talk thing. It's what we do. It's what we love to do. Listen, it's your man, Mr. Direct. I love talking about anything and everything. As well, if you are following us on YouTube and you're watching it, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button and make sure you guys follow us, because when you follow us, you're able to listen to when we go live and do what we do best, give you a little bit of that real talk, like only Akellz and your man, Mr. Direct Ken, when it comes to talking sports, because we talk some shit when we talk about sports.
A little bit.
And you know what? I've only cursed 3 times max in this whole show.
You had a little vacation, man. You know how to act now.
Right? Like, oh, he's finally matured.
He's a little boozy now. Well, you know, the great Papa. Got your pinky up and stuff nowadays, man.
Listen, but coming back, I wanted to talk about it. And you know what? I'm gonna give you the floor, dude. Go back, do what you do.
Oh, you want me to finish breaking down that game?
I want you to go ahead and do that.
Because I was talking about the Steelers' offense using the Giants' aggressiveness against them on defense. And one thing stuck out to me was, I believe it was a third down play, I'm not sure, but Landon Collins bit on a double move. And it ended up resulting in being a touchdown. I think it was Ladarius Green, tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's just one of the ways the Steelers used the Giants' aggressiveness against them, double moves, because they kept hitting them with 5-yard outs, 5-yard hitches and things like that. Up the middle, medium to medium, nothing deep. So when he got hit with the double move because he tried to jump the route, it's like, oh, wow. And nobody's back there because you think you're covering all your field.
What's the point?
So, listen, I'm not going to spend too much time, much more time on the subject. The game's over. It was what it was. We had questions coming into this game about the Giants anyway that the Giants just didn't answer. But there's a couple things I want to just get into real quick. Not going to take too long with it.
Yeah, you always say that.
Yeah, no, I'm not. Because there was two things in coming into the season that I had questions about. One, the offensive line. I've always wondered, and still, it's me sitting here right now, still wondering, why didn't we draft Laremy Tunsil when he was there? Why did we pick Eli Apple? That's two. That's one. Here's two. Did we, because we spent a lot of money on this defense, and there's a lot of talent on this team offensively, did we get rid of Tom Coughlin a year too early? Because what is the problem with this Giants team? Their offense. Ben McAdoo has been an offensive coordinator for only 2-3 seasons. So him being the head coach now is more added things that he has to take care of now. There's so many other things. So the Giants, I mean, this was when Tom Coughlin was at his best. Okay, around this time when the Giants were in the thick of things. He always found the way to push certain buttons to get the Giants over the top.
Good point.
Can Ben McAdoo do that? Now, he was on the Super Bowl team with the Packers, so he knows winning tradition because the Packers, we know how great of a tradition the Packers are. But can he find that? Can he relate to the players as a head coach to get them to realize, hey, even though we lost, it's still right in front of us?
That's a good point.
Still right in front of us.
You make a good point.
Because if so, Jerry Reese got to go.
Okay.
Jerry Reese got to go.
That's it.
That's
all.
it.
That's
how
all
I'm gonna
you
end
have
that
to
one
say.
because he should have drafted Laremy Tunsil. This offensive line is atrocious.
That's all you have to say is this dude's got to go for this reason or another.
He should have went last year.
You're probably right. You are probably.
They need to play with sense of urgency this Sunday. And even if the Giants lose this game,
some urgency.
No, a sense of urgency. Like they need to come out to play because even if they lose, but you come out of that game was like, all right, we were close. This is the best team right now in the NFL. You can go into the next game with something, with some juice, with some cash.
That's a point.
You
Good
know,
point.
Come on,
listen.
Show me something.
You're making valid points. However, I think you keep forgetting one thing. One, the Giants have always played inconsistent. Always. Right. You can chalk it up to whatever you want to call it. Make it less, make it more. Whatever way you do to make yourself feel okay with the fact that it went down. But either way, okay, they have been playing consistently for years. I can't see why you would expect them not to play inconsistently because that's what the Giants do. Eli Manning 1 week, and you know what? Big ups to him because he's the number 8 all-time passer in the league right now. Right. I give him credit. He's getting records. But when they build the team around you to get records, shouldn't you be getting records?
I don't think this team is built around Eli anymore.
It is because he's still there.
Spent $2 million. They spent $200 million in the defense practically. Then went out and drafted a defensive player in the first round. When you signed a cornerback to a $32 million guaranteed or whatever it was,
he's still
They needed help in the offensive line.
To a degree. He's still the man.
No, he is. No, he's the bread and butter. But they rely on Eli too much.
Well,
that's the problem.
Listen, the only thing we could say about Eli is he got 2 rings before his brother did. Clumsily, he got 2 rings before.
Let's get into it.
Listen, let's be honest.
Into with these coaches.
Listen,
what are you getting into?
Did he or did he not get 2 rings before his brother?
The first one, okay, maybe. The second one, you couldn't put the bread in the basket any other way. He threw that pass to Mario Manningham along the sideline. You cannot tell me that was a picture perfect pass. That is a poster 400.
You get too excited. You're going to pop my damn microphones. I keep telling you, stop it.
You said don't be loud.
But you still are. Can't you hear it going, puh, puh, puh? You're killing me, man. You don't ever listen.
I'm trying to listen, man. I'm trying to be better.
Listen, talking about what we were talking about, and I gave you the camera a little bit too long. I don't think the camera needs to see your ugly mug that long.
Boy,
listen.
We might get some ratings with some hot ladies, man. I attract all shapes and sizes.
You'd be surprised.
And ages.
You'd be surprised.
18 and over, though, of course.
You'd be surprised. Listen, coming out, Stephen A. Smith said something on First Take the other day, which I thought needed to be addressed because it's something I've long thought about. And I just don't think about it in sports. I think about it in general in life. Because think about it. Sports is a reflection of life. To some degree, it is a reflection of life. Why is it that Jeff Fisher, for 22 years, and I'm going to give you his stats. I want you to understand what I'm about to say to you guys. For 22 years, Jeff Fixer, because he ain't fixing shit. Jeff Fisher has a record of 173 wins versus 174 losses. He's got one victory over 500 to date. Doesn't look bad, but let's look deeper into the numbers. He's missed the playoffs 16 times in 22 years as being a head coach. He's missed the last 8 years since 2003, no winning season since 2008, no record of 500 since 2009, yet he still has a job. Namely, he was just rewarded a 2-year contract. I want somebody to explain to me how Jeff Fisher just got a 2-year contract when his team is losing miserable, hasn't made the playoffs in 8 seasons. Here we go. I love my Jets. Okay? I love my Jets. I don't care what people say to me. I don't care. We know who our Jets are. If you a Jets fan, you slap, you stomp your feet. You know who the Jets are, and you love the Jets for who they are. That being said, why is it? Can someone possibly explain to me why is it that it seems to be that now they're talking about running Todd Bowles out of town? 2 years. A half-ass quarterback who basically had a great season in Texas because the guy goes down, which, listen, everybody plays great contract year. Oh, shit. Yeah. I'm a starting quarterback. Quarterback went down. I'm going to play great.
I like that. Nobody's never mentioned that. Okay. Really. I like where you put that. That's great.
So he played great. And for all intents and purposes, he looked better than he was. Mm-hmm. But it's just like the manager who gets the asshole to do all the work for them. Mm-hmm. It looks better than they do. And then all of a sudden when they step up and they're like, okay, it's time to do what we do. It's time to get on board. Time to take this to where we got to take care of it. We're going to put you as a starting quarterback and you're the focal point. You can't come through. You can't come through. So now, mediocre quarterback. Mm-hmm. Let's say he's a B plus level. He's a B. Let's give him a B minus. Let's give him a B. He's a B. Listen, he's a B. Because there's a lot of teams he can still go to. There's teams. The reason why I'm giving it to him, there's still teams he could go to that technically they would start him.
I will say, can I just say something?
Go ahead.
Because you had the floor.
Go ahead.
If he's a B minus and there's teams that he can go to, why didn't nobody give him a better offer than what the Jets gave him? Actually, there was no offers on the table for him.
Your team is always going to give you the best. He just leveraged it because of his stats, and he knew that he knew that the team needed him.
Understand?
He leveraged it. He leveraged it. But hold on, let me finish. So I say he's a B level quarterback because he's shown flashes of he could really do something, but he's inconsistent. When you're inconsistent, but you show flashes, I'm going to give you a B. That's what I'm saying. You give a half decent running back, right? Call a spade, half decent running back. Then on top of having a half decent running back, you got a temperamental wide receiver in Marshall who sometimes he'll catch the ball, sometimes he won't. When the ball's there and everyone says it was catchable, for some reason, it seems to slip through Marshall's fingers. Think about that. Now, not for nothing, backup quarterback. Who was the backup quarterback? I'm just spacing right now, but who was the backup quarterback?
Geno was before he got hurt. Now
Geno was before he got hurt, but even when he came in, he got hurt right away again. He was hurt, came off right away. They had no real potential at quarterback. And they drafted quarterbacks last year. They drafted them. They drafted a couple to say, hey, maybe these guys could be the future. My problem is with Woody Johnson. I don't think Woody Johnson gives a damn about the Jets. And he's like a lot of owners who don't care about because it's a free meal ticket. The Giants sell out. Even when they suck, the Giants sell out. When the Giants are garbage, they sell out. You're sharing a stadium with the Giants. Guess what? because you're sharing the stadium with the Giants, hey, I can't catch a Giants game. You know what I'm going to do? Because I can't catch that Giants game, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to a Jets game.
For dirt cheap.
Dirt cheap. I'm going to go to a Jets game. And guess what? They're going to make money because people are going to want to drink beer. People are going to want to buy hot dogs. People are going to want chips. People are going to want to buy paraphernalia. People are going to want to get the full-on experience. The NFL is going to subsidize it because you're using a stadium that is not necessarily your home stadium. So guess what? The NFL is subsidizing it just a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. The local government is subsidizing it because we want you to stay here. We're going to give you certain types of freebies for you guys being here. Why not? You're here. You're an attraction. So for all intents and purposes, if I'm an owner of a team, what incentive do I have when I know part of it is a write-off and the other part of it, who cares if we don't make the playoffs? If we luck in, which is what they did with Rex Ryan. But can I tell you, if you notice the team with Rex Ryan, they lost when they pulled the strings on Rex Ryan and said, now we want you to do it our way. When they let Rex Ryan run that team and truly run it, players had to answer to him, not the general managers, not the owner. They had to answer to Rex. The team went to the AFC Championship back-to-back years. The minute they pulled away his power, and we want to give Sanchez more power, we want to give him more leeway. Rex fought it. He's not ready. He's better when we control it. We control the plays. We don't want him calling plays. Sanchez bitched and moaned. I want to be able to prove. Why? You made it to the AFC Championship 2 straight years. Shut the hell up. Get a ring, because obviously if it ain't fixed, don't break it. And what happens? Butt fumbles. Sanchez goes from a starting quarterback to a traveling doofus.
Couldn't even beat out Trevor Siemian for the starting job with the Broncos.
He couldn't beat out Dak Prescott when Romo went down.
Romo can't even beat out Dak Prescott these days. Come on now.
He can't. But you see what I'm saying? How can you possibly, the Jets are, my God.
So let me ask you a question, right? Because thank you for boring me with that history lesson on the Jets. I could tell you need to get that off your chest, though. And that's what I got that off. I got the Cowboys off my chest.
Pathetic.
You got that off your chest. They are pathetic. And they're pathetic. But I want to know: are you defending Todd Bowles?
I'm saying that Todd Bowles deserve. Listen,
are you defending Todd Bowles because of Jeff Fisher?
I'm gonna throw the racism card into it, and I'm gonna say, it seems that a white coach can lose badly unless he's really with a team of a guy that's all about winning. A white coach could come in and basically, show his ass. And they're going to keep him around a lot longer. The black coaches, and listen, there's some black coaches that have been there for a while, but the minute they're not playing up to par, we got to put his feet to the fire. Maybe we need to let him go.
I mean, I think Chip Kelly would beg to differ.
Hold on. In Chip Kelly's defense, Chip Kelly came in like a raving lunatic and gutted a team that made the playoffs. Now, that was stupidity 101. Let's hold on. You can't use Chip Kelly as an example, but even then, he gutted him, lost his job, then picked up another job in San Francisco. You tell me one black coach right now. Tell me one black coach right now that you know, if you gut the team, if they came in and pulled a Chip Kelly, they would be able to pull off the same shit. Tell me a coach right now.
I don't know any coach really that can really do that. whether black, white, Spanish, or whatever, because Chip Kelly came in with a mission to make the team his image, and it failed. It backfired on him, and he's got a chance.
Like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but the only reason why Chip Kelly's got another opportunity because there's quarterbacks with legs that's his calling card. That's what made him so great because he can utilize
This
the
ain't
quarterback.
college.
Right, but Russell Wilson is used effectively. RG3 at one point before he became damaged goods was used effectively. But all I'm asking
use
you
the RG3.
No, I'm just saying before there was flashes of it. All I'm saying is this. Back to because we're going to go back in full circle because you made the point with Jeff Fisher.
Yes.
Jeff Fisher, first of all, there's a couple things that work into Jeff Fisher's favor that doesn't work into Todd Bowles' favor.
Okay.
One, Jeff Fisher's been to a Super Bowl. Whether you want to say it or not, with his mediocre record as a head coach in 20-something seasons, he's been to a Super Bowl.
Good point.
An inch from winning it.
Good point.
That's one. Two, Jeff Fisher, I believe it was the Houston Oilers. He's already been through this transition of moving from a state to another state. So he's been there, done that, and had success and got that team to the Super Bowl. Two,
Good point.
Jared Goff. You just gave all that. You put all the chips on the table to move up to get Jared Goff. And then you're going to fire your head coach? You're not going to do that. That's stupid. You need to develop your quarterback. Three things that work into Jeff Fisher.
One.
That's why he got the extension. Now, understand this. Go ahead.
One. You had a losing record before you drafted this dude.
Okay.
That's
What's
one.
your point?
Two, you haven't made the playoffs in 7 years before you drafted this guy. Three, you don't even have a winning record before you drafted this guy in about 6 years.
Okay.
So you should have been out the door. Todd Bowles has been there for 2 seasons. I don't want to hear.
But you gotta
listen. It isn't what you've done in your past. It's what you're doing now. That is any sports team. He hasn't done a damn thing. How can you even defend the stupidity of this man still having a contract?
I'm not defending anything. I think he should be fired too. But at the same time, I'm looking at the other side and why he isn't going to be fired. Understand this: that 2-year contract means nothing because he could be on the hot seat just as quick next
here's
season.
the thing. You know how
nothing's guaranteed in the NFL.
Well, hold on. Here's the thing. You know how nothing's guaranteed, meaning nothing's guaranteed if you're a player because you play according to performance.
That goes to coaches too, I believe. Look at the Cleveland Browns. How many coaches the Cleveland Browns have gone through over the years?
And all of them are still getting checks. It's different.
Yeah, but they're not head coaches. They're position coaches.
Doesn't make a difference, but you still
There's a lot of black position coaches
Hold on for a
out there.
second.
Okay.
You're missing it.
I am missing it.
And people always try to correct me on this. First of all, there is guaranteed money in NFL for players. I'm glad you brought that up because I was arguing with my cousin over Thanksgiving about this. It is guaranteed, even if you never touch a down, even if you never touch
there's insurance,
down. Not the insurance. If you never play a down, a certain percentage of that money, as long as you make the squad, you made the squad.
Right.
There's a certain percentage of that money. It's still, it's small, but a certain percentage, meaning if you listen to the way they work these contracts now, they'll say, oh, he signed 5 years, 65 million, 35, 40 million guaranteed.
Right.
Now, the 35, 40 million means no matter what the fuck happens to him, he's still going to get that much of it.
Yes and no, because there's incentives that the NFL throws
I'm
in
not
there.
disputing that. This is what people keep missing when I'm saying this. I'm not disputing that. The incentives come to when we say that he's guaranteed a certain amount. The incentives are if you live up, now it trips from that small percentage to the bigger percentage. Oh, you made weight. Psh, not a problem. Oh, you made the squad. Not a problem. But you caught so many touchdowns. Not a problem.
But the NFL is the only league that has.
And you're right. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is, people always say the NFL doesn't have guaranteed money. Yes, they do. However, now it changes when you become a coach. When you become a coach, you are guaranteed money. When Bill Parcells last coached with Dallas, they got to buy him out. In the NBA, it's different. In the NBA, it's you still got to pay these guys, and it counts against your salary cap.
Yeah.
That's the NBA. But in the NFL, okay, he's got 2 years remaining, and you owe him $6 million, $3 million a season. You got to buy him out. So it's not guaranteed money, but it's, dude, you owe me $6 million. Okay, you know what? We know we owe you 6. Take this $4 million, sit on your ass for the next couple of years. You can't go anywhere else because technically we're paying you, but we bought you out. NBA, it counts against the salary. NFL, they just buy you off because they don't want to
cut you.
Or cut. Well, not as an NFL coach.
Oh, you're talking coaches.
I'm talking coach.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm saying, you say the 2 years are not guaranteed. That check is. Whatever they signed them to, that check is. And that's my point. How are you going to sit here and give a man consistent money for 22 seasons? 22, count them. I'm not making this up. 22 seasons. Think about that.
Well, I think if you listen to what I said earlier, I think when you look at it from that perspective, you'll say, okay, I understand why. A little bit. I'm not defending Jeff Fisher one bit. I think he's mediocre coach at best.
We might have to agree to disagree on that one. I don't know.
I mean, at best, I don't think he's a Super
asshole.
Bowl winning coach.
We'll be back in a moment. We're back, and when we come back, you know we got to talk a little NBA.
A little
Too
bit.
Much it's too much to talk about. There's so much we could get into. There's so much we could talk about, but at the same time, it's like, do we really want to talk about it? Like, damn it, I don't know, because I'm okay.
Down. I'm down to talk.
You
I'm
down?
down for the cause.
You down?
I'm down for the cause.
You down for the plan?
Down for the get down.
You down for the get down? See, I like it that you say you down for the get down. Appreciate that. Listen, let's get into brass tacks here, okay? Number one, we talked about it on the pre-show. We're going to talk about it now.
Do it.
You ready?
Do it.
60 points in 29 minutes. Let's give it up for Klay Thomas.
I'm not giving him a round of applause.
60 points in 29 minutes. If you watch the highlights alone, 60 points in 29. He scored 40 points in 1 quarter. Think about that. 60 points in 1 quarter. How much better does it get than that?
I mean, yeah, but he's done it. He's been there and done that. I'm not impressed. Carmelo scored 30-something points.
Stop talking about Carmelo.
I'm just saying. I know you hate Carmelo.
Carmelo is a sorrowful excuse of fucking he's fake Hello. On this show, when you talk about Carmelo, referring to his real name, fake Hello.
That's why I mentioned Carmelo, because I'm saying if Carmelo can do it, right? Who cares?
No, on this show, refer to Carmelo by his real name,
whatever
fake
you
Hello.
call him, whatever
You
you
are
call
not
him.
allowed to call him by that fake ass. By his name is fake Hello. If I'm gonna call him Clay, I'm gonna call him Clay. He Clay to me. That's right. I don't care what nobody says. He Clay to me.
Clay to you. Jeez.
No, he's fake Hello. Seriously though. Now talking about it, why don't you want to talk about it?
I just think fake is the word to use when it comes to this 60-point performance, just because of the offensive talent that is around this man. Which
he still has to put the points up.
They have a 20-point score, 27-point score in Kevin Durant. They have a 2-time NBA
he still
MVP
has to put the
on
points
this team.
up.
I understand that the ability to score. Yes, he still has to score 60, but it gets a little bit easier when you have those two.
Well, that was the argument when he went over there.
I mean, anybody.
That was the argument
right,
when Kevin Durant went there. They said, one, how fair is it that now you have the 2-time league MVP, a 1-time MVP, because he won the MVP 1 year, right? Mm-hmm. Remember that speech?
Kevin Durant, yeah.
You're
the real MVP.
I have to give it to my mom. You're the real MVP. You know what? No, don't make fun of him. That was a touching ass speech.
It was touching, but he's a sucker now. So you're the real MVP.
But in all honesty, come on, let's listen, in all honesty.
If you have the ability to do it and you do it, I will give you props just because of that. But I'm just saying, man, it's a little bit easier when you got Stephen Curry and Kevin Durant. Now, listen, he's exploded for a high volume of points before. So
He's still got to put him in the bucket.
Right. No. Even without Kevin Durant,
Yes.
he's exploded for a high volume of points before. And what I take out of this really is not Klay Thompson, is this Warriors team is gelling.
Well, they're starting to get comfortable. They're starting to get comfortable with each other. I think what it is, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I think what it is the first quarter is a test. Who's hot? The
I don't
first
know
quarter,
if you can play that game, though.
I think no, you can.
You can, but you can't because you're playing with fire.
You're playing with a bunch of guys that don't mind making the extra pass.
No, you don't.
So because you're playing with a bunch of guys that don't mind the extra pass, who's the guy that's taking it and making it without thought?
No, that's
it
very
becomes
valid point.
unconscious. If Klay was the guy, they said, yo, keep feeding him until he goes dry. Now, he could last for one quarter. Then even if he lasts for one quarter, you have Curry, and you have Durant to pick up the slack. Because even with his 60, Durant still scored 20. How many straight games has Durant scored, I think, 20 points? I think he's close to taking the record from Jordan.
It's been a while. But I'm going to just say this, though.
Still scored 20. Damn it.
It's something called rhythm, right? I mean, because even though these three guys are great,
yes,
you still need to be in a rhythm offensively. Sometimes you just need to take shots just to shoot them, even if they don't go in, because you need that feel of the ball coming off your hands. You understand what I'm saying?
100%.
So if you want to play that game of feeding the hot hand, which is cool, I think you feed the hot hand at the right time. You know what I'm saying? But everybody still has to get a little piece of that pie. And this is what this Warriors team, that's why when Kevin Durant knew what he was doing when he went to this Warriors team, because Steve Kerr stretches the floor like no other as a head coach. He knows where to put guys to make it easier for them because he's played on a super team. He's played with the greatest player of all time in Michael Jordan, but still had to find a way, right, to get other guys involved. So he knows what it takes to take his shots, timely shots. He knows. That's why Kevin Durant, part of the reason why Kevin Durant went there. And plus, when you have the two-time reigning MVP and Steph Curry, it makes that decision a little bit easier too.
Let me tell you something. Today's athlete,
bunch of suckers.
The fact that he didn't want to toughen up and go ahead and go over to his boy and say, listen, yo, Russell, we need to figure this out because we need to get some chips here. That tells you the caliber of him. He could do it for a business move, but to me, that's a bad business move.
Can I say something real quick about the Kevin Durant? And I bashed Kevin Durant since he made this move, but I will say this. A couple of seasons ago, what was Kevin Durant doing? He was injured.
Yeah.
This injury almost took his career away from him. Yep. And I really believe he sat there and said, I don't know how much time I have left. Nothing's guaranteed. I got to find a way to get it done now. And this was his way. That's all I'm going to leave it at.
No, listen, I'm not going to disagree with you. I agree with you tenfold. I agree with you 100% tenfold. The reason being is because at the end of the day, we have to realize no matter what, okay, people are thinking about this as a business deal.
Oh, yeah, it's all business.
It's no longer, I think Chris Paul said it one time, back with Bird, Magic, Isaiah, they hated each other because they didn't really, which was a lie because Isaiah and Magic were really good friends.
No, yeah.
But Isaiah and Michael didn't like each other. It was a rivalry. There's a lot to be said for the fact that there was really a rivalry between Jordan and Isaiah. But there was rivalries amongst a lot of the players because it was I want to kick your ass versus I want to play with you. You saw B-level players that would get traded to go play with the A-level players. You would never see the A-level player jump ship to go play with another A-level.
I love that you brought this point up because I wondered about this, and this had been on some of the ESPN radio shows. You didn't watch the game, and I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to get into it. But since you brought it up, just real quick, because we know LeBron and Dwayne Wade are best of friends and how they show gratitude to each other even during the game. Odell Beckham was caught on camera because him and Antonio Brown are really good friends, clapping after he scored a touchdown. When we know you scored a touchdown against the Giants, that meant to the team. So how do you feel about that? With you just saying that, because you're
That's
old,
today's
you
athlete.
seem old school.
That's today's athlete, and really today's athlete. Like, if he was on the team with Lawrence Taylor, when Lawrence Taylor was coked up, Lawrence Taylor would have punched him in his chest and told him to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
Would have tried to
in
bite
those
off his
words.
hand.
And he probably would have broke his hand at the same time. Show me the hand you applauded with.
Possible.
But you know what's the worst part about it?
What?
It wouldn't have just been Lawrence Taylor.
It would have been a lot
It would
of
have
other
been
guys.
Harry Carson,
Carl Banks.
All of them would have been there. They'd be like, how the hell you going to cheer?
Even Phil Simms would be like, "Hey man, what are you doing, bro? You can't do that.
You don't cheer for the. You don't cheer.
You don't cheer for him, man."
I get it. In the NBA, the guy falls, and you know what? I remember one of the guys talk about it. I forget who the athlete was. He said he knew times changed with this new stage, because he was one of the older athletes from the 80s, but that was still playing when some of these younger kids started coming in, right?
Right.
And he said he knew time changed when he hit the kid to the floor, and the opposing team guy tried to help him up. His own player, his teammate tried to help the guy up, and he went to his players and smacked his hands like, "What the hell are you doing? You don't help that man up. That's for his team to do." Now, you ever notice when they fall, the teammates rush to pick them up?
Right.
But if you notice now, watch the game, they pick each other up. Now, I understand civility, trying to teach people gamemanship and be nice.
Today,
But there's a lot to listen. When that ball goes up, you're my enemy.
I understand.
I don't need to try to kill you.
But you got.
But you're my enemy. I am not here to play friends with you. I'm not here to say, "Hey, good job," and "Whoo, look at that shot." I'm here to whip your ass, whichever capacity I'm playing. If I'm tossing a football, if I'm running a football, if I'm catching a baseball, whatever capacity it is, I'm here to whip your ass. If you are not on this, when I go play pickup ball, there are guys now who used to bust my ass, and I used to bust their ass back, and we laugh about it now. But the minute we said, "Check," that's your ass. I don't give
I
a
agree
damn.
with you.
I'm not trying to
understand.
hurt you, but at the same time, if I'm going to the hole and you in my way, I'm going up.
What you have to
You better
understand.
get the fuck out of my way.
And today's athlete goes through so much, and so much is expected of them, especially with now social media. You can't breathe without something being up there. They got the memes now and everything. I think that plays a part. I think that brought players together because of the brothership, because how much these guys go through together as NBA players.
Could be.
And for the NFL, you have to understand this too. The NFL, you're one play away from tearing your ACL and it being all over. Enjoy it while you're in the moment, however way you need to get your blood flowing. When Odell clapped, I smiled because I'm like, all right, he wants to score a touchdown now. That's how I took it. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Different time, different era. And that's how I feel about it.
It is.
But another guy that ain't showing no kinship, that ain't taking no names. Who we talking about?
Yo.
That man. That's a bad man.
That's a bad man right now. Listen, if you guys
Six
don't know,
straight.
if you guys don't know who we are talking about right now, that, my friends, was Russell Wilson. Westbrook. Wilson. I don't give a damn. I say people's names wrong all the time. People say my name wrong all the damn time.
You better respect his name. You better respect
Russell
it.
Westbrook. We can't dismiss this show. We can't end this show without talking about Russell Westbrook. Are you kidding me that this man is averaging a triple-double? And what's amazing is everybody said when Durant left, how is Westbrook going to answer?
Well, they knew he was going to answer in this type of way. I mean,
Do you really think so?
Yes.
There's no way in hell they assume that this dude.
Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman, two very, very intelligent sports figures, picked Russell Westbrook to win the MVP. They know what they're talking about. Trust me.
They picked him to win the MVP.
MVP.
He is the spearhead of that team. How long can he continue to put his body through this abuse?
You're right. And that's the sad part because he's a point
for
guard.
him at this point, first of all, what is he, 6'2"?
6'2", 6'4", whatever.
For him to be 6'2", 10 rebounds, 15 assists, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, and 30 points. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Today's athlete, between practice, between working out, between all that extra stuff, you're putting your body through a lot.
You know what? And it's
Through
not.
a lot.
And it's not even just this. It's not even about this season because I think he may not average a triple double for the rest of the season, but his numbers are going to be fairly close to these. It's about the longevity. It's about 2 seasons from now, how his body's going to feel. Because it's not about this season because he's still young. He hasn't had.
Yeah, but
he's had injuries, but he hasn't had that catastrophic injury, maybe like Kevin Durant did with careers.
I want to give you a comparison, and
Right.
you said you wanted to talk it before. The only player to average a triple-double for a season was Hall of Famer Oscar Robertson. Now, listen to these numbers, and maybe it'll change your mind about how crazy it is to do a triple-double, especially in today's league. 46 points, 17 assists, and 15 rebounds. Now, this is the time when the big man was the focal point. If you had a big guy in the center, dump the ball down to the center, and then move on from there. That's an amazing thing.
It is.
So this man was putting up 46 points like it was no big deal. Think about that. It's a lot to be said, man.
There's a lot to be said.
Here's my thing with Russell Westbrook. He can't continue at this pace. He can't. You can't convince me that he can continue at this pace. I cannot believe that even until the halfway point can we say that Russell Westbrook will continue this pace, because it is too rigorous, it is too intense, and to be honest with you, he's banging with some big guys on it, because now the NBA literally has guys that are 6'10", and their whole position, their whole job is to take up space. You ain't going to score, but you're athletic and you can take up space, which is good when you're playing basketball because everything's about spacing. When you're playing football, it's about spacing, but it's also about dominance of spacing. Can this tackle dominate this lineman enough to create an open space for this running back to go through, to create lanes for this wide receiver to get further out and give the quarterback enough time to see the receiver? In basketball, they got guys that are just there just to take up space and do a little bit of enough not to screw up the game, but to give the team a chance to
Maybe
win.
a rebound here and there.
A rebound here and there.
Yeah,
But
I get you.
Basically, you're a big, wide body.
But that, to me, that Russell Westbrook has been only thing that was stopping Westbrook from putting up these type of numbers before was Kevin Durant. I don't think he's going to keep. I don't think he can keep pace with these type of numbers anyway. I think they're going to go down a smidge and smidge. I mean, a little bit. Like that 11 rebounds might go to 10.5. I mean, those 11 assists might go to 10.5 assists. Those 10 assists might go to 9. Those 30 points might go to 28. I mean, so to me,
well, you have listen, we've already decided that it's impossible.
Right.
In our opinions, it's
Right.
impossible to
but
assume.
still, the average it's still.
It's impossible to fathom.
And he's a point guard.
Well,
a point
and that's
guard
the thing
averaging
is-
all those assists.
And the thing is,
And what's real quick before you make your point?
no, go ahead.
The crazy thing is that's why the comparison the two is crazy to me, because a point guard, right? You maybe say a small forward maybe can average this. This is a point guard averaging 10 rebounds. Oscar Robertson was a center averaging 17 assists. Centers aren't known for assists.
The game
Point
was
guards
different.
aren't known for rebounds. No, but I'm just saying though, when you look at those two dynamics, because we don't mention those two with point guard and center, they're so different. But yet these two guys did it at a high level. I mean, at a crazy, ridiculous amount.
100%. Listen, we can't deny that these guys, first of all, what Westbrook is doing is phenomenal. There's no way you could possibly say that he's not doing something phenomenal. And if you do, then you're blind to the reality of what he's doing, because he is absolutely killing it right now. Speaking of killing it, we got to end the show. That's our time, unfortunately, ladies and
Come on,
gentlemen.
man, let's end a little better than that, man.
It's 1 hour and 15 minutes, dude. We about to tap
no,
out.
No, you could. Hey, listen, he tapped out, not me.
Listen, I hate
Can't
to do
keep
it to
up
you.
with the young boy, huh?
Nah, I can't keep up with you, man.
At least
Got
you
other
know.
stuff to do.
You got other stuff to do.
We have fun, though, man. It was a good
we had fun,
conversation.
though. It's been 2 weeks, man. It was too long.
It was 2 weeks too long.
Yeah. So
I
we will be
apologize for
back
that.
next week. No apologies, man. We all had things that come up. Almost didn't make it this week too.
You little crooked foot.
A little bit, a little something unexpected. But hey, listen, man, you got to take the punches and roll with them.
That, sir, is well said.
And that's how we're going to end the show.
That's how we're going to end it.
See you next week.
Listen, we'll be back next week. You guys got to hit that subscribe button. Go to YouTube.
Subscribe.
Go to Real One Talk One on YouTube. That's Real, the number one, Talk, the number one word. Do not create spaces. And hit that subscribe button and follow us because it's this show, that show. We got a bar tour coming up. We're going to have fun. It's going to be crazy. And if you guys catch us, it's going to be a party, y'all. Yo, Keith Murray. I wish I could end with that song right now, but YouTube would totally just take the shit now. I mean, just Keith Murray with R. Kelly. Oh, man. We could end the show right now. That'd be crazy. Like, yo, we got to end it right there. But listen, you guys know who we are. You know what we do. It's your man, Mr. Direct. And he's just going to sit there in silence. Who are you, man?
Akellz. I saw the picture of Mr. Direct.
It's your man, Mr. Direct, and
Akellz.
And we're going to be back next week doing what we do best. Make sure you guys join us live for a little bit of sports. It's Mr. Direct's Real Talk, but it's get that sports fix. Really? I don't even want to say Mr. Direct's Real Talk. Let's get that sports fix.
Get that sports fix. Or can I say mine real quick? What is mine?
Oh, you
Come
lost.
satisfy your sports cravings.
That's even better.
Yeah.
And now the time has come.
No, you gotta do a presidential. You gotta do a round.
I travel each and every mile on way. But what it is,
Gucci. So I knew it was gonna set you off. I knew it was gonna set you off.
I did it my way. You asshole.
Yeah, I know a little bit. I learned from the best, man.
That's hilarious.